Hello everyone, this is Rob Collier. I'm joined today by Kyle Caldwell, President of the Michigan Nonprofit Association. CMF and M&A have a strong partnership that's been going on for a number of years in working with both state government and federal government. And we want to take a few moments today to chat a little bit with you and share a few thoughts about what's going on both in Lansing and in Washington. Kyle, the governor's just given his State of the State speech, and we've got the state budget coming up in 2 weeks, and clearly he was very nice in the State of the State and called out foundations for their support of early childhood and the urban initiatives. But clearly there's some issues for the nonprofit sector as a whole, and the CMF board is concerned about this as well. What's the message from your perspective that we ought to, as both the foundation community and the nonprofit community, take to the governor and the legislature?
Well, I think it's really important to understand that nonprofits are a partner in problem solving, and the sooner we bring nonprofits into the policy conversation, the better. And I think much like we've done with the foundation community, realizing that we have a lot to contribute and we can be really helpful to the legislature, but being on the front end of the conversation, not the back end, is really important.
And thank you. And as we look at this, we've got a number of opportunities that are coming up. And clearly one of the most important things that both M&A and CMF do together is Nonprofit Day, that comes up every fall, but also just encouraging our members to talk with their local legislators. I mean, there's never been a more important time to make sure our state reps and our state senators understand the nonprofit story and the value that the nonprofit sector is bringing to the table, to these discussions with our policymakers in Lansing. But today we've also got a lot going on in Washington, so we ought to talk a little bit about Washington as well. Do you want to tee up what's happening at the federal level? I mean, there's a lot of discussion going on about the charitable deduction and about tax policy.
Well, the governor will give, or excuse me, the president will give his State of the Union speech. They'll also be presenting his budget, both of which are going to really look at tax policy. And as we know, that's the lifeblood for many nonprofits, not just charitable deductions, but charitable status for nonprofits. So we're going to be watching that very carefully to make sure that nonprofits are protected and make sure that we're at the federal level, a partner at the table. I think we've got some things to look at: national service funding, making sure that that engine is there for all the nonprofits out there, and that we look at how foundations are funded and supported and how their tax policy is examined. And we've got a lot of things out there that's work undone in the tax extenders pieces that we need to make sure get done this year as well.
Exactly. So as we think about Washington, keep in mind that Foundations on the Hill will be our 38th annual visit with the Michigan Congressional Delegation in Washington on March 21 and 22. And we encourage you, if you haven't participated in this, it's really a great experience, and it's easy to find out about it. You can dial up Foundations on the Hill on your on the internet, or just contact CMF. But we always look forward to taking a good group of foundation leaders to Washington to talk about the nonprofit sector and the role of philanthropy in our state and nationally. Thanks a lot, Kyle.
Thank you, Rob.